If you want to draw or do complex editing on your iPad Pro M4, you're going to need an Apple Pencil, which is what we've got right here, but you're probably wondering, why is it in this box? And why am I not showing you the main box? With the new Apple Pencil Pro, they actually come in separate boxes, and I don't actually know which one they've sent me. So let's get this one out of the box. Just like the iPad itself, it comes with these pull tabs. Once we get it out, you can see that I have been blessed with probably the flagship design. If you want to save a bit of money, the USB-C pencil will do fine for note-taking, but if you want pressure sensitivity and all of the new features that are going to be here on the Pencil Pro, you've obviously got to go with this one, and it's a little bit more expensive. For just straight ahead drawing, I probably would have been fine with just the Generation 1 Apple Pencil and my old iPad. But since I've gone for the iPad Pro M4, I'm really excited to test out all of the new features. Not only does it have all of the great features of the first generation pencil and the second generation pencil, you can also do cool new things where you can twist the pencil. Now, like I mentioned, there are multiple box designs for this product, but because I ordered it online, this is the one I've got. It's the purple, blue, and pink design. It's got this lovely design on the front. It says Pencil Pro on the sides, and it's going to be a simple case of pulling on this little tab on the back to unbox it. This product is $129, I believe, and £129 UK. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't actually show you the pencil as soon as it comes out. They used to always have the product be the first thing you saw when you got it out the box. Designed by Apple in California, that's what we see first. Don't need that. Here it is, the actual product itself. Now, some people were surprised that they didn't change the design of the Pencil Pro to like separate it from the previous ones. They've really just decided to make it exactly like, I think it's exactly like the previous Apple Pencil, the Generation 2 model, which has a flat edge along it. It feels shorter than the Generation 1 Apple Pencil. I haven't had a Generation 2 pencil, so this is all new to me. Let's just peel this off. That was not as smooth as I was hoping. I love design like this because it reminds me of the iPod days when everything was really, really simple. So the first new change for me going from Generation 1 is that these are magnetic, and I believe that they stick to the top of the iPad like so, and I think that's also how they pair. So as you can see, I've got the revolving Apple Pencil. It shows that it has connected to the iPad. Welcome to Apple Pencil Pro. So for me, all of these features are brand new. We've got squeeze gesture, switch tools by tapping on it. You can scribble to write text in any field without having to open up like a special text box. And you can also use it to easily capture screenshots. But I believe there's actually quite a bit more to this. Hover over the screen and squeeze the Apple Pencil like so. Oh, interesting. Now, it does this amazing thing, which is a little bit like when glass trackpads started coming out for the original MacBooks and MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros. It doesn't actually squeeze this pen. You don't actually deform the shape of this barrel, but it feels like you do because it gives you a little tap. Obviously, you are deforming the shape of your thumb, and so they've really understood the haptics here. If I go away from the screen, it still works. So this is obviously through Bluetooth and not actually through anything to do with proximity to the screen. I can be anywhere away from the screen. It says to hover over the screen, but that's probably because this is a context menu. In certain apps where I'm going to be using this for drawing, you can see it will actually follow the tip of the pencil if it's close enough so that it will know the position of the pencil by using hover, the sensors inside here. We can also try scribble. Try writing a few words here. Hello, does this work? I ran out of space, so I had to go back, but maybe that's not how you're supposed to do that. Maybe I just have to wait for it to disappear, then I can put a full stop. Oh, okay. It's going to take a little getting used to, but obviously this is significantly nicer than having to bring up a giant keyboard which shifts all the windows. Sometimes you're like typing on the keyboard, but you can't actually see what you're typing because the text box hasn't moved properly. Depends on whether the developer has implemented that feature correctly. And there's other gestures in here, but I'm more interested in drawing. It actually now allows you to add it to Find My. This is a system built into various Apple devices so you don't lose stuff. It's amazing because I have lost 2 Generation 1 pencils. They cost like $100 each. So I've lost like over $200 worth of Apple equipment. These are the sort of things that can just roll off a table, though a little bit less so with this one. So it looks like that's all for the welcome tutorial. Now we can jump straight into actual apps and test this stuff out. I'm actually going to drag Freeform on here because I haven't used it very much before, and I think it might be one of the better apps for testing this. I will try and show you as much drawing stuff later as I can, time permitting, but as you can see, the pencil works just fine. Just like in the Notes app, when you have the pencil sideways like this, you can actually get nice wide textures, but when you've got the pencil going straight down, down, you've got these finer lines. As you can see, as I'm hovering over the screen, you can see the actual cursor. So this is the first feature, which I haven't tried before because I didn't have a Generation 2 Apple Pencil. Even though Generation 2 had hover, it didn't have this barrel roll. Now this is actually a normal feature. It's quite standard in a lot of the higher end drawing tablets that professionals use, but on the iPad, being able to use barrel roll, this is kind of a new thing. NihongoGamer. For some reason in primary education, they really force you to learn how to do cursive handwriting. For the life of me, I can't really figure out why, because it doesn't make it easier to write quickly. Anyway, if you want to do some beautiful calligraphy, it's obviously possible because you can now decide to have the lines flat like this and vertical like this, thin, or you can have it the opposite. You could have it thin going horizontally and then thick when it goes vertically. Really cool that you don't need to buy any apps to test this out. You can just use freeform right here on the iPad. What I really wanted to try before that was also the squeeze gesture. So you can see I've got these menu items down here at the bottom, but what I want to do is see if those menu items come up if I use the squeeze gesture. Squeeze the pen, and as you can see, all of the options have shown up right here. So let's say I want to switch to this blue pencil. Squeeze again to get rid of the menu, and hooray, I've got my nice blue pencil. It's really, really thin. So I'll open up the menu again. Let's make this a little bit thicker. So get rid of the menu like so, and brilliant. Really convenient that I don't need to have that giant menu here at the bottom of the screen all the time, taking up precious screen real estate. I can just use the squeeze menu so that it's completely clear on screen while I'm drawing a nice big idea like so. And then when I do need to bring up the menu, I don't have to go over to the left side, expand the menu, find the tool I'm looking for, click on it, and then put it away again by swiping it off to the side. It's going to be significantly easier if I'm just like drawing something in the moment. It's just like, you know, I want to have a green line here. So squeeze here, click on the pencil tool, give myself a green pencil, and then straight in. It's just going to be so time saving, but also just less effort. When you know that the tool is not going to be a chore to use, it's going to be so much more of a pleasure to use. Again, it's not revolutionary. If you've had a drawing tablet for the past 30 years, almost all of them have been able to do this since the beginning. Yes, other tools have had it for decades, but we've got it on the iPad. I keep calling it the iPal. We've got it on the iPad Pro now. You can actually slide this menu along like this in order to get to the other tools. So let's say I want to use the highlighter. I can actually squeeze to get rid of the menu, and I've got my highlighter now, which is nice and translucent. Now, what I want to test out here is the double tap feature. Again, this was in Generation 2, but it's new for me since I've just never had one. I've got my red pen out now. If I double tap, you can see now that it has gone to eraser mode down here, and as I draw, you can see everything that I touch is now being erased. I thought that this was going to be not as fun as flipping my pencil around and actually using the eraser, because I have been using drawing tablets, again, for decades with other makers, and most of them, you know, they had erasers on the back, so you would just flip the pen around and you could erase with the back of it. With the Apple Pencil, they really don't seem to like the idea of flipping it around, because I suppose that's very, very specific. Like, that's very specific to physical pencils. But the Apple Pencil Pro, even though it says pencil, really what this is a stylus. It's a pen, it's a brush, it's an eraser, it's a text tool for writing and scribbling. It's anything that the software wants it to be. So I kind of understand that they don't want to put a separate sensor on the top here, and it would just waste battery power anyway. So this is the point in the video where most reviewers will probably say, okay, we've tested it out, it's cool, but I'm probably not going to use it that much. Hopefully I can try and show you how this stuff is really useful, especially if you are an artist. So the apps that I like to use for drawing the most are Clip Studio. I sometimes use Procreate, but I prefer to use Clip Studio just because it's got so much built into it just for manga and animation. I know that Procreate also has Procreate Dreams. I've never tried it because, again, didn't have an up-to-date iPad Pro until now, but here we are, and this is my favorite app to use for drawing. I think the app hasn't been updated yet. This is day 2 of iPad Pro being out, so it doesn't actually have any of the squeeze gestures now. I do believe it will work with double tap, so I've got the pencil at the moment, double tap. It does go to the eraser, so I can erase here. If you're not used to drawing on a tablet, the thing is the screen is really nice and smooth, but that also means that you pick up all the dirt on the tip here and you'll feel it. If I'm drawing a circle here, it doesn't glide smoothly over the glass. It kind of bumps up and down based on how much like dirt, finger oils and stuff are stuck on the screen. So if you want to like alleviate some of that, you can probably get a screen protector. Maybe you can get one of those paper-like style screen protectors. But if it feels a little bit weird at first, then it might be partly down to the fact that, you know, there's a little bit of dirt on the screen. Just draw a quick character. Here we go. So go to Procreate here. Got a canvas open already. Let's draw a face, shall we? This might be the fastest I've ever drawn the face, so I apologize for the crudity of it. Some eyebrows. And how about smile? This person's happy. Come on, he's just got an iPad Pro today. You'd be happy too. Give him some cool hair, shall we? Trying to make him look as 90s anime as possible, because let's face it, that's when anime peaked. Why is he tilted to the side? Just because I'm like a foot away from the iPad to not get in the way of the camera. So I'm kind of at like a terrible drawing position. So that's like a basic sketch in Procreate, but we can also add extra layers. We can put that layer below it by holding down here, and we could probably choose a color. Let's say he's got green hair. This is clearly not the right brush. Clearly not the right brush. To be honest, this airbrush is probably a little bit closer to what we want. Okay, so I don't actually see a way to take advantage of barrel roll in Procreate, which is a shame because I was hoping that I could show you some of that. What's he saying? iPad Pro M4. I was hoping that I could show you a little bit more, but basically we've got all the cool new features here. Hover is brand new to me because I didn't have anything since Generation 1. But the new features like barrel roll and being able to use the squeeze gesture, this feature is going to be fantastic when it's actually implemented into apps like Procreate or Clip Studio Paint. I'm really excited about when that finally does happen, but also mostly just excited that I finally got an Apple Pencil again, because I lost the first one and the second one. And the cool new feature of the Pencil Pro is that it's got Find My. So you can actually set it to actually tell me its location if I've just left it at the shops or I've left it at a cafe. I do think it's a shame that the Apple Pencil Pro is not compatible with the previous devices. Maybe there's a good reason. Maybe there's certain sensors that were not in place for the original iPad Pros and the iPad Airs. But whatever it is, if you want to use features like squeeze and barrel roll, which we can only predict is going to be very useful in the future, then you will have to go for the M4 iPad Pro or the M2 iPad Air. Listen, that's all for today. Just a quick demonstration of the new Apple Pencil Pro, which came a week earlier than I expected. I actually thought this was going to arrive in a week, but they seemed to upgrade me and send me one a lot sooner here on the iPad Pro M4. But you can also use this tool and apparently all of its features on the iPad Air M2. If you enjoyed what you saw today, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Watch this video next if you love iPads, drawing, tech, and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm really excited to finally have another Apple Pencil after I lost the previous two, and also to finally upgrade from Generation 1 to basically like Generation 4. That's all for today. I hope I'll see you real soon.